Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the Eastern Edge tournament. And after that first exciting game, we're back again for the next one because it's a best of three situation. 1-0 already in favor of All Blue, which Jenny likes to call as Sub Neela.
Nay, pura ka pura nila. That was the original thing, Pura ka pura nila. Are you still there, by the way?
Hmm?
Okay. Don't confuse me, scared yet.
I'm not confusing you. Don't worry. I'm here. I'm here. I'm actually having a little bit of a hard time deciphering as to what will happen in the next drafting phase because I really want to have a look at it as to what happened in previous one. I could clearly say that even though there was a good idea from the side of Akatsuki, but the way they drafted their entire draft was the reason why they could not close things out properly. So I am this time hoping that they are going to probably change their draft, and in doing so, we've already seen a Minotaur ban coming in along with a Diggy taken out. So they've already denied one of those important picks for the side of All Blue. But this time, All Blue panning out the Fredrin, panning out the Mathilda. The question is, are they going to ban Xborg? But they do not go for it. They actually ban out Barats. That means Xborg is up for grabs. And this time, Novaria is also open, Jenny.
Yep, Akatsuki do have the first pick, but I'm not sure if they're going for X-Borg yet. What do you think?
I think so. Xborg could eventually be a very good pick in this situation.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, all the tanky junglers will eventually be denied, and if he uses the lasting insanity, then even Akai cannot zone him out of those turtle pits or the lord, or maybe let's just say the neutral objective pits. So it's going to be a very solid early opener, but that also means that Mintley will have his opportunity to pick up the Vixana, while also Hollow can lock in his own Yu Zhong. But there's the thing. We've seen Sonic play on Akai, so he kind of likes to play those tanky jungles as well. Assassin, let's be honest, it does not work out that really well for him. And there are a few left and right situations in terms of those rotations. But Noel this time picking up the Faramis. Now the question is this Faramis going to go in the hands of A, or is Noel going to play it in the roam position? Because if that's the case, you kind of can get a gist as to what Akatsuki will be going in, almost like an Ube composition yet again. But
Mm-hmm.
what are going to be the next few picks? I think so. Yuzhong is again going to be a priority for both of these things. But since Noel has picked up the Faramis, I'm expecting a joy coming in from Sonic, but I'm also expecting a Claw to be picked up by All Blue.
Yep. Well, I feel like you said, they're gonna try the same thing over again. A Brody X-Borg with that. Noel, I guess probably he's gonna go for Rome once again. Vixana is a good pick, definitely. Sonic on the Joy with a hyper Joy. Well, you just said that Sonic
I
likes to
love
go
it.
for a tanky hyper situation. So, what's your opinion with him using a Joy?
The last time he was playing Nolan, if I'm not wrong, in their quarterfinals match,
Mm-hmm.
he was up against the Joy in the jungle. And
Mm-hmm.
he on Nolan was just demolished by the Joy. So he already has the idea of the power of Joy on the other side. But now, if you think about it, the next two bans for All Blue are basically confirmed that it's going to be a Kaja as well as a Franco. But never mind, they actually let the Franco through. Uh, Let's be honest. In this situation, if Akatsuki picks up a Franco, you know the deal is done. Sonic will almost every single time
Mm-hmm.
bloody hunted or suppressed whenever he'll be going in for his rhythm beats. But that's kind of what Papi would want on a Tigreal. He's gonna do what Minotaur was doing. So basically, it's one of the same ideas, and they banned out the Akai, they banned out the Kaja, they've let the Franco through. Are they kind of implying that they want Akatsuki to pick the Franco because they can eventually use Sonic as a bait only to set up Crisis? Maybe he can go
Mm-hmm.
in for yet again a Harith pick.
Probably, but I was expecting Akatsuki to ban Harry, and I'm still expecting they might yet ban Harry because they saw what he did in the last game. But let's see. Well, Akai has also been banned. Xborg is going for a hyper, isn't he?
Yeah, Xbox is almost 100% hyper in this situation. It's in the hands of Aaron, but He'll eventually be playing it in the jungle, and that's what he normally does. But as you've already told, even towards the EXP, I really want to have a look at as to what's going to be that EXP lane matchup, because we saw Darrow being banned out in the previous game, but this time he is being let through. And since CC has been banned out, Dareth is going to be a super high priority. I like the Ixia ban. What Claude can do, Ixia can also do the exact same thing with the full barrage. So they're just banning out those gold lane counters of Faramis itself, but I think Crisis will eventually pick up the Harith yet again in this one. I might be wrong though. He can go in for maybe a Clint or also a 1-1 if he really likes. But that's totally up to him. Maybe a Leslie if you really want to push out your luck in that situation. Yeah, that's Clint. A pretty default pick against Brody. It's going to be almost a similar lane matchup, but that EXP becomes even more crucial now. I think Akatsuki can pick up a um, Dairoth in this case, or maybe a Yuzhong.
I guess Akatsuki. Sorry. Okay, it's Akatsuki's turn. So I feel like they're probably gonna go for the Yujong before All Blue takes it off. Meanwhile,
Hmm.
the other options will be obviously Dyrod. But oh wait, Kufra and Arlo. How can I forget that Arlot is also on the table and is actually good in the EXP lane. A lot of tankiness. There's gonna be sustain and damage as well. And CC as well.
That's again Arlot being picked up, but yet again, Sonic will eventually dodge all of it. And if he goes in for that setup play, Papi will answer back with his own implosion. But I really like the Kufra pick though, because I'll be honest, this eventually cancels out all of those
Mm.
sacred hammer set plays that Papi could eventually go in for. So he has to rely on his flicker implosion plays. So Akatsuki, this time their draft looks much better, but it always will come down executes it much more in the Land of Dawn itself. It could go either ways, let's be honest, but I kind of like what Akatsuki are bringing on the table. They do lack in that magic damage, I'll be honest. It really just
Mm.
Ghostbusters from Noel, but it just seems they'll just want to brute force the way with A is mine on that Brody and kind of want to make sure that he is over farmed in this situation.
Since you
And
said the moment you said that they're lacking on magic damage, do you think that would have been better instead of Brody?
that's a tough one though. I'll be honest, but
Hmm.
I still feel it's only I think so. Akatsuki's draft is kind of better because of that, Brody. And Jenny, could you please carry on for a couple of minutes? I will be right back.
Sure, no problem. Take your time. All right, guys, we're moving on towards the game. Well, we already know the score. That's Akatsuki with 0 and All Blue with 1. So it's very important that Akatsuki wins this match or they will be eliminated. And meanwhile, we're looking at the bottom lane where Brody might get in trouble since Zygril is already there. But Kufra is moving on towards the bottom lane to give some support to the Brody. It's going to be 2 versus 2. Yep. An unexpected situation in the bottom lane where the marksman is getting the support from the tank. Meanwhile, in the top lane, that's Faramis versus Faramis and the Lynx and L versus Hollow, but L seems to be rotating towards the mid lane, looking for clearing the minion waves, and seems like All Blue is rotating towards the top lane. There's gonna be a 1 versus 3 situation where Lynx might get into trouble if he does not acknowledge the fact that there are 3 people there. So they gotta get the bottom lane. Dojiri might be in trouble, and that's a first blood for All Blue already in 1 minute, not even 30 seconds. Arian's dealing a lot of damage to Papi Shrek, and he will be going down, I suppose. But that's the last Insanity coming in, and Rin will be taking down their tank as well. Noel trying to deal a lot of damage to the Crisis, but okay, Noel
Whoa,
overextended a
pretty
little bit, and he goes
pretty
down.
fiery start, man. Pretty fiery start over towards the top as well. Sonic with the electrifying beats, trying to go in for some chip damage on Lynx. Now here's the thing: Lynx will be facing some problems against Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
But now, since he's already level 3, I think so it'll be even a little bit better because he'll get those extra spear dashes too in the meantime. But I was not expecting All Blue to have such an aggressive start. I was kind of hoping maybe Akatsuki is the one who will dictate the momentum in that early game. Wow. Never mind. Never mind.
Well, there's another one in the top lane. Noel trying to get an opening for that turtle since they're already on it. Erin's following up. Puppy Shrek seizing on it. Okay, he's airborne, using up his last insanity on a turtle. Will he be able to take him down? He took the turtle, sneaky one, with the retribution, got the turtle, and they will have to disengage, and that's Ellie's mine. Already eliminated, but then, oh, look at that sister coming in from all, and that's Kufra, Tyrant's Revenge on that Puppy Shrek, and he's done as well.
Papi Shrek has been shredded immediately out there. I was really thinking that All Blue were gonna run away unscathed while also getting a pick on A. But oh my, that's some different plan outs. And in the meantime, JD leaving his lane open, that eventually gave some good room to Crisis to work around with and get a little bit of that chunking gold off that bottom tower. It's gonna help him have that extra item advantage, not the entire one, but those few build-up items advantage. Vorax has been picked up by Aiden, so his movement speed is now going to be even more insane. Plus, with that constant damage penetration, he'll be dealing a ton of damage. Crisis picks up his own endless battle. This is actually a bait play coming in. Noel is the man charging up the Tyrant's Revenge in the bush, but really does not want to go in for the engage, knowing that Papi Shrek is also present. That means Mintlev would be around with the Vixana in his hand, Eternal Guard available. Goes on charging into that one bush, and Papi is basically now going to make sure that Crisis stays alive. Sonic was easily able to take over the bush as well without any problem, but hold on a second. Mintlev had to lose all. But there we go. The engage comes in. Sonic with the electrifying beat should be able to get a pick onto JD. Still trying to survive, but he cannot push in the issue any further. Look at the HP of Crisis. He still gets links in that fight. And that's the EXP laner out of the picture. Not pretty solid, but there comes the Eternal God as well as the Sacred Hammer. A is finished off. And that too brought in a couple of times. Now Aiden wants to join into the action, or at least wants to force everyone back. Only just grabbing a lot from the Eternal Guard. Well,
that was definitely a mistake. I mean, they just died one after another, one by one, right when the turtle was upcoming. They're trying to have a contest though. Sonic already on the turtle, Link's coming for some backup. Noel just using up his Tyrant's Revenge, but not being able to land it on anyone. And Turtle has already been taken down by Sonic. Noel being chased on by Hollow. Links will be in trouble, and he definitely will be going up on the Paralysis. Ultimate coming in and saving him. No, he couldn't. Tyrant's Rage on Papi Shrek, but futile effort.
And look at during this entire engagement, the top lane was taken down, and JD cannot do anything in towards that bot except push the wave towards the tier tower. That's all. Mintler also wants to make sure that he's not recalling in the bush whatsoever. I mean, things are looking pretty difficult for Akatsuki. I still know that I mentioned that maybe we will see a game number 3, and I really wanted to see that specifically between both of these teams, knowing how solid both of them are. But hey, it's just All Blue dominating entirely, even though they are on the red side. There we go. Implosion comes in along with the Sacred Hammer. I was not exactly hoping, but there comes in the Black Dragon along with Mintley on the Deadly Grass. This is just a chain CC. JD could not do anything. He's basically been diffed in the gold lane at this point.
Oh, what is L doing? What was that?
Maybe a network issue, I guess.
Alright. He just used his flicker, didn't he? Something happened. He dashed towards the turret, even more inside it. Meanwhile, Crisis trying to defend the top lane. Aaron will disengage. Well, I was thinking about just the same thing when you said that we're gonna see a third match, but seems like All Blue is totally up for a clean sweep.
Does seem to be the case at this point, and honestly, they've got a massive map control as well. Ling's stashing a little bit too ahead. We'll go back. But they just don't have any map control as of now. The Necklace of Durance has been picked up already by A, so that means those extra bit of shield that Sonic was getting will eventually be lowered down. But the question is, how are they going to stop Sonic in his own tracks? You can argue bouncing ball could be the way to go, but Sonic is just finding timing to dodge every single thing. Hey, wait.
Something's happening.
No, nothing is happening. He's basically just doing it on purpose. You could see the recall taunt coming in there as well. Nether Realms now used up. It seems that they've just given up in this game, and that is really not the team spirit that you were looking for. That's I'll be honest, not a good spirit.
You should have at least tried. Like, doesn't matter if you're gonna lose. Why not lose trying, isn't it?
Yeah,
Anyways,
it's
just
gonna be ending. It's
yeah.
fine. Let it
Seems
be.
like
But
JD is the only one who's trying to hold.
yeah, honestly, it was still a pretty solid run coming in from All Blue. And I mean, imagine making your opponent almost give up in this situation, at least making sure that two or three of their players are kind of giving up. So that's a very solid, very good game coming in from the side of All Blue. Even in that first one itself, we could clearly see by the amount of coordinated plays they were all making, specifically with that Minotaur. They were doing a phenomenal job in that case. And even now, we could clearly see the rotation that came in from Papi Shrek. Really perfect. Crisis, he was doing such a great job in his own lane as well, making sure that JD Diff is not getting a lot of farm or is not farming out of control, because if you stop the early game of Brody, he's basically almost done for the mid as well as the late game, and JD could not do anything. Even that one play over towards bot, we clearly saw that first, it was Papi who went in for that flicker implosion play and then also landed in the sacred hammer, making sure that JD is not going anywhere, followed by a hollow with his furious drive and the dragon tail to get that knock up as well as that extra bit of damage. And when I thought that maybe JD could now finally flicker out, there was Mintley with the deadly grass ready to quickly strike him down. So I really felt bad for him in that situation. I mean, I kind of felt it in my bones being a marksman and how difficult it is to face all the chain CC.
Yep, totally agree with you. Seems like they're just pushing down the mid lane and trying to just end it right then and there. They've already given up. Actually, I don't know if you've noticed, but in the early game, in the earliest one, Akatsuki actually had a good start until Noel overextended and got himself dead in the bottom lane. I guess right after that, they made so many mistakes and they just lost spirit after that.
It was miscommunication as well as the constant mistakes that were being made, which were eventually punished by All Blue, because you normally see teams making the mistakes, but no one actually punishing them. JD wanted to be sneaky, but Sonic saw him on the map. That was pretty unfortunate. Noel wanted to land in a Flicker Tyrant's Revenge. Now just needs to run away with the bouncing ball, and he'll not be allowed to do so. Crisis is having so much damage. Level 13 already, will almost get to level 14. And you would really expect some good play from AE as well as Aiden, but they're just staking in the base, not defending whatsoever. It's going to be it. All Blue winning out in a 2-0 fashion. A phenomenal game from them. Just making sure that your opponents are down on their knees. Kudos to JD for not giving up. Kudos to the man. He was doing everything that he possibly could, but it is just a situation where he could not finish things up in a very good note. It's still, he tried his best, but on the other end of the spectrum, a very solid game coming in from the side of All Blue. I mean, Jenny's Sab Kuch Neela has made sure that the entire arena was painted red since they were on the red side this time. But yeah, Jenny, any last few words?
Well, that was very sad for Akatsuki what they did. They should have at least tried. I mean, if you're gonna lose anyway, just try. Lose trying. Yeah, that's all. I guess this was it. I was expecting a little bit more, but I'll have to do, and we're gonna have to.
Let's be honest.
Wait for the next match.
Yeah, JD tried, Noel tried. Both of them tried. It's fine. They did their job, but at the end of the day, All Blue just getting that game and winning out, moving in the grand finals. Jenny, they're the first finalists of this tournament. But ladies and gentlemen, in order to find out who their opponent will be, you've got to make sure to stay tuned, as we will be right back after this short break.